Welcome to this workshop on commissioning wireless devices. In this video we will look at the solution to the workshop in Chapter 4 of the book Wireless Control Foundation. The workshop is designed to show the steps that are necessary to add a new wireless field device to the network. In this workshop, we will take a new wireless device and add it to the control system, and also show how this measurement is then included in a control module. It is assumed in the workshop that the wireless gateway has already been added to the control system. Initially then, we will take a new wireless device, and using a field communicator we'll enable burst mode communications and power it up. We'll then go to the Control System Explorer view and show how the information from the wireless device is then assigned to a channel within the control system. We'll create a control module and then assign that measurement from the wireless device to a block within the module and download the controller. We'll then open the module that we created and show how the value from the wireless device is being periodically updated.
I'm Mark Nixon. Welcome to this lab on commissioning wireless HART devices. This is our lab setup. Over here we have the wireless HART gateway. We have 3 commissioned wireless devices right now. We have the we have the 475 HART communicator, which we will use to configure and set up the 4th wireless HART device. The devices, once they're communicating, will talk through this here controller, and we'll set up a control strategy utilizing the measurements coming out of this device. So with that, we'll go ahead and start setting up this device. First thing I do is I connect the communicator up to the device itself, and we're going to use that to set up the network ID and join key. So I'll plug in the battery. At that point, then we'll go into the device itself using the HART communicator. The communicator first scans for the device on the local network. Once it finds it, then we can select it. So in this case here, it's actually found it, so I'll immediately step into it. So what we're going to do is set up the wireless communications. And I'll go to the configure, and I'll go to manual setup, and we're going to go to wireless setup. And the first thing we're going to do is set the device up to join the network. In this case here, our network ID is 14628, so the device will join that particular network, and then we have to give it a join key. So we'll go into this step, and 14628 is the correct network ID. We're going to have to enter the join key. So in this case here, it's going to be 0, 0, 0, and then we used 1, 2, 3, 4. So we used a very simple join key for our test case. Normally this would be a full key, and then I just default the last 3 parts to zeros. And so in this case here we have the join key set up as 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the others are zeros, and we'll accept that. And that network ID and join key are being sent to the device now. And we'll get a message back on the screen in a moment when it is ready to start joining the network. Okay, it says the network ID and join key have been changed, in which case we're ready to go. So the next thing we'll do is look at the broadcast rates. So we'll go into that and we'll configure the update rate. In this case here, I'm going to set the update rate at 4 seconds. And so when that's complete, we'll also get a message indicating that the device is ready. So our device is now set up to communicate. We've configured the rates. It's got a network ID, join key, communication rate. It has a message that it's going to use. We could look at that message briefly. And it just indicates that all variables in the status will be communicated at an update rate of 4 seconds. So we'll just save that. And so this device should be ready to communicate now on the network. So at this point, we'll switch back to the Wireless Gateway Explorer and take a look at the device, which should begin to show up momentarily on the network. At this point, we're looking at the Wireless HART Gateway. The device has shown up, it's joined the network and shown up as TT103. We can also look at the device in the hierarchy as a device, and we can see the tag and the device ID. And going back, we can again see it on the Wireless HART Explorer. So we'll switch over to the Delta V Explorer, and what we need to do at this point is connect that device to the Delta V configuration. We do that through the Reconcile I/O, and we can see the device on the Reconcile panel. We drag that over to the device pane and it'll show up. We want to take the tag and descriptor from the device that we just configured and move those over. So we select them and they now show up under the Delta V Explorer. And we can look at the details of the device, and we can see the tag. We can see it's 648. We can also validate the device by looking at its device ID. We have to download the information into the Delta V Explorer or controller, and we'll do that now and wait for it to download. We now go back up and we're going to add that device onto the Delta V controller. So we'll select the controller, add a new module to it. We'll give that module a name. In this case here, we'll just call it Test, Wireless HART Test. We'll open the Control Studio, and we're going to assign. We'll pick an AI block, and we'll assign the PV of the HART device. So we'll first select the device, and then by DST, and then select the PV. We'll also pick one more HART parameter. So we'll go back, so you can see we're communicating PV, SV, TV, and QV. So we'll also look at the TV value. So we'll select that over on the Control Studio. So we'll pick that and again assign it to the HART variable. The HART has up to 8 variables that can be communicated. The additional 4 are called additional variables. But in this case, we're just looking at the first 4. So we now have to download that into the Delta V controller. So again, we download and we can go online and we'll see the values coming through. And right now we can see the PV and the TV. And to validate those, we'll move over to the Wireless Heart Gateway. And you can see the PV and TV being communicated. When the values are refreshed, they change to a shade of green momentarily and then switch back. So that's an indication that the values are being communicated every 4 seconds, as we configured when we were setting up the device. We hope you've enjoyed this lab on commissioning wireless heart devices. Thank you very much for listening.